Good afternoon, everybody. It's Captain Endo 1 here for the Dark Star Strategist. Well, our Borg Armadas are here, and a lot of you are probably out there wondering, where do I go to get them? What do I do? Well, first of all, before you even start, what I recommend is in your gifts, there should be a new mission available for you. I can't see it anymore because I've completed the missions, but that's something you should go into. Um, take care of that mission real quick. I think it gives you some salvage, which is useful. But other than that, there's also some Borg tech salvage that will come to you as a daily gift. That's something you want to be on top of. That'll be here during this event. And that's something that's very important because it helps you purchase some other things in the event store that you need for this event. The first thing you absolutely need for this event, uh, is called a Borg transwarp cell. Um, that's something that will get you to and from the Borg Armada space. So that's something you can purchase with some of the salvage. You can get it in chests of 1 for 10, or 3 for 30, or 5 for 50. So that's what allows you to travel to and from Borg space, Borg Armada space specifically, which I should mention specifically when you start is way out here. The Patari system, that's the first of the Borg system. That is what you require to go to get there. You need to use one of your transwarp cells that will get you out there. Once you're out there, you can travel to and from any of the systems that are attached to it, from the 25s, the 30s, and even the 35s. And the difference between the different systems, the 25 systems are all your uncommon armadas. All the uncommon armadas are the same. They are about 38 million strength. So ideally, you want to bring the Vidar, which is tuned up specifically for these types of things. I'm also told that 2 to 3 million faction ships are capable of doing very well in this event, and later on I will try to experiment with that and bring out an Enterprise, but that should be capable of taking on the 25s fairly well. Now, the bigger ones, the 30s, are all rares, and again, they're all the same size once again. And these all require either one uncommon directive or one rare directive, or further along here, we'll be able to go into 35 systems, which all have epic armadas, which are Borg assimilator cubes, which are much stronger, and we haven't faced them yet because we haven't received any. But we've had a lot of experience facing the rare and the uncommon, so we'll go into that in a little bit more detail in a little bit here. The last type of system are the Borg mega cubes. This is only available through special routing you get from both a transwarp cell and an epic or mega cube transwarp cell. And that's not something that's available to us yet. That's something we have to earn. And the only way to earn that is by working our way through the ladder of the monthly Alliance event. That's something we will actually. That's not. Yes, that is here. That's something we'll get to use to get against the mega cubes, and I think the cells also will come separately, and that I believe will come in the event store further on down the line. So we need to make sure we get at least some of these Borg transwarp cells for ourselves, and then some more Borg transwarp cells. There is an Alliance one available. It costs more. You can get any single person in the Alliance can get one per day. But because it's so costly, it's not something people are going to be able to do for free. So most people aren't going to be doing this, but when you do, you can get transwarp cells for the Alliance. I happen to donate a little bit to the Alliance. Now, this is also where the uncommon Borg directives are. So if you want to get uncommon or rare Borg directives, you can also purchase them in the event store. One chest for Borg directive is 85, 3 is 255, or 5 is 425. Similarly, the rare directives are also available in the event store. That's 1 for 340, 3 for 1020, and 5 for 1700. So obviously all the salvage you need to be getting is very valuable. And what this does for us, that's keys into several events that are going on right now. So the first one is in the front lines. Very important that everyone in the alliance who plays this game actively get on and complete the first 500 points, which is the first two tiers. This gives us Borg war effort points, which is used for our alliance event that gets us into the epic or the mega cube directives later on. Those who are beyond the 500 points, if you're not filling a gap, it would be appreciated if you are setting aside for people who are still trying to reach this second tier 500 points and getting the um, Borg war effort points that are used for the event, which is right here, the War effort alliance milestone. Because this is what we want to climb as far up as possible. The only way to do that is more people participate, the more people collect the Borg war effort points, which all contribute into this alliance event and get us further up the ladder. Lots of rewards coming. We just have to work together. No single person can do us for us. This also feeds into the Borg Armadas Unleashed. We're doing pretty well right now. I was a contributor to that, certainly. And this helps us get things we need to compete in these alliances and various other things. So the more we work together on this, the better we'll do. But it's got to be a team effort. We can't expect one or two people to carry the load and get very far. So now the next question a lot of people are asking, how do I do these armadas? Well, we mentioned how to get the directives, and what should I bring? Well, the ultimate choice here is probably the Vidar. The Vidar, it still has its cybernetic augmentation against Borg hostiles that makes your damage increase. So it's going to hit harder and do better that way. Now, alternatively, I am going to later probably bring in my Enterprise just for comparison purposes and to test. And I'll probably use more of a burning lineup. And that will allow us to work it a little bit more that way. But and the reason I'm bringing that is to tank a lot of the damage, and hopefully that'll allow other people to bring their Vidars and do pretty well. Now, once you want to use one of the transwarp cells to get out here, you can't return from it to go home to your base to repair. Once you die, you have to fly back with another transwarp cell. So ideally, you want to focus on targets that are really relatively consistent to your power levels. If you're a lower level Vidar, somewhere in the 200 to 400 range, you probably want to focus a lot of your efforts on the Borg cubes, the uncommon Borg cubes. These ones are not too difficult. We've ran a bunch with a bunch of people, and you could see those who were in the 200 to 400 range didn't take a whole lot of damage just from this one target. A lot of these people were at several armadas in a row. If you're even lower than that, obviously you want to attack the level 25 Borg cubes, whereas if we take the tactical cubes, the rares, evidently Reveduce has got his video out, so this will be in tandem with that. You can see they do a lot more damage, so a lot of people would come into these and they'd be almost full health and they just get demolished in this. So that's just something to be aware of. If you don't have a very powerful Vidar, there's a decent chance you may not make it out of it alive. Even if you're a bigger Vidar, it may get you, and it's just a risk you're taking. The rewards are better, but you'll have to fly back on a transwarp cell. It's not something you'll just automatically have coming into here, so you'll see a lot of that. You'll be aware, yep, some people are going to suffer if they're coming in with a weaker Vidar trying to take on a tactical cube, because they do hit hard, and if you do come into it and you're weaker, you'll want to come in with some, you want to make sure you have enough transwarp cells to get yourself back, because ideally here, the difference between these armadas is primarily two things. It's the amount of inert probes you get and the amount of points you get to get towards the 500 you need. Now, every rare armada is 150, and epic, if once we do one, is 500. So that's something that'll clear the normal event tiers immediately. So even if you only get one victory, that's all it'll take. Spending the Borg directives also gets you points. You can see I've advanced quite a bit up this ladder now. I've run a bunch of these armadas for folks, and that's helped me to climb quite a bit further up the ladder. And that's primarily giving me event currency at this point. I've cleared the minimum required to get the Borg war efforts for the Alliance about 7 times over. But since I have the Armada directives, I can run a few more of these people. My goal is to get as many people through as possible. And being that I have a level 36 Armada control center and I can run 4 people other than myself at a time, I'm going to try to get as many of you in here as I can. But it's not going to be, you have to be very proactive and very good at communicating. If you're just sitting there passively, you're not going to be able to get into the Armada. Another thing you can't do is sit there at your base and just assume you're going to make it in time. Now, this on the Enterprise with a warp factor speed of 6.5, it takes me more than 5 minutes just to fly out to Batari system from my current location. Now, I can guarantee the Enterprise is faster than any of the Badar's people are using. I can pretty much guarantee that unless you're running Helvia, it's going to be faster than most of your ships coming into Borg space. So if you want to participate in these armadas, you must at least be in Borg space. That's either into Batari system or anywhere we've pre-designated to go to run these armadas. So that's just something people need to be aware of. You can't just sit in your base and wait for these to happen, because you only have a 5-minute window once the armada gets started to join. So that's something you want to go ahead and do. Once you're ready to participate, you need to get out here to the Batari system or in whatever predesignated systems we tell you, so you can join us. If you're just sitting there not talking to us, we're going to assume you're not going to join, because we only have 5 minutes to fill the spots. And we're going to fill the spots to whoever happens to be available to do it, with preferential treatment going towards those who still have to complete their 500 points for the daily event to get us the war effort tokens that we need for the Alliance event, and to get us towards the Mega Cube Epic Armada directives, or the Mega Cube directives that get the biggest points. So that's just something to be aware of. This is a group effort. The more we work together on this, the better out we'll come as an alliance. Those who just sit there doing their own thing, start the armadas by themselves, kill the armadas by themselves, you use a directive, you'll get some more inert probes out of it, but fewer people work toward the alliance goal and will suffer as an alliance overall. So it's very critical as we do this. If you want to participate, use your one transport warp cell, get your ship out to the Batari system, try to participate in the armadas that are complementary to your size. So if you're a smaller Vidar, seek out specifically the uncommon ones first, get those in 100 jobs, because I mean, honestly, the difference between participating the difference in just destroying a target between our common and a rare is only 50 points. And since a rare armada can probably kill you in one shot if you're not a very strong ship, you don't want to necessarily just go into every armada that's available to you if you don't have the transwarp cells available to get yourself back and get your 500 points. So weaker folks should definitely be going after those uncommon armadas as much as possible. Stronger folks will want to try to head to the rare armadas when you can get to them, because that'll get you there quicker. You'll be able to get to your tier and further much quicker, and you can survive a lot of the hits maybe some of the other players can't really take. So that's just things to be aware of as you're coming out to do these things. We've got more to learn in this process. I'm sure the Rev Deuce video is probably going to explain some things maybe that I haven't gotten to yet. But the very key element when you're doing this is to be here. You got to be at least in the Patari system, or you really can't participate because you can't make it in time for the Armadas once they're started up. And once you're there, just join everything you can. Be as vocal as possible so we know you're coming, and let us know if you still need your daily event credits so we can get more of the we want to get more of the war effort tokens that get us towards the alliance goals for the month, because that's how we all grow together, and that's how we all get to these mega cube directives, and that's what gets us to take a shot at the big boys. And I'm assuming that's got the biggest rewards. Haven't seen any yet. I'm assuming we'll see those probably a few days into the event, and there'll probably be some of your bigger alliances will start taking a crack at them. I'm hoping we can be one of those alliances, but that's all depends on all of you, your willingness to participate, your willingness to coordinate your efforts so we can do this together. That's pretty much all I have in this video. If you have any questions, please reach out in game or Discord, but hopefully this covered most of the areas of confusion, and we'll see you in game. This is Captain Ando 1 for Dark Star Strategist. Live long and prosper. Out.